I ordered the survey because I knew his ass wasn't going to do it and they needed one on that property. Like lenders, if you gain their trust by doing things the right way, I think I did the last deal we did. You're like, I don't even know anything about mobile homes, but I'm sure it's good. That was literally our conversation. I was
I
like,
would have, if it was anyone else, there's no way I would have funded that.
yeah, I was like, we're good, bro. We're good.
Because up here, like manufactured homes are not
Yeah.
valuable. Like they depreciate. Now this had a bunch of land. You sent me good comps because it's tough. You don't know how I don't know how far out to go on comps
Yeah.
because it's way more rural down there than what I'm used to.
Yeah.
Certainly, I felt comfortable. If it's my first deal with someone I don't know, I'm probably not going to fund that
That's a
deal.
niche thing. Like people lose their ass on those. I take them because I could see it. But yeah, those are freaking hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Matt, what you got?
I just want to see if you had any advice. Like right now, I'm trying to transition from a sales gig. It's 1099. I'm self-employed. It's not W-2, but my wife is W-2 into just jumping into the real estate full time. I gave myself mentally 2 years. If it happens before then, great. I'm just trying to get my ducks in a row, make the move from having this active income to just really working and nurturing the real estate side of things.
I think it's
It,
important that I preface something for you too, so he knows who you are. Matt came to me, wanted to make some active real estate income. I was like, let's just flip some mobile homes. That's easy, right? Let's wholesale some mobile homes first. No money, right? The dude made 30 grand wholesaling mobile homes in 2 months. So, anyways, I had to preface that. Go ahead, because he needs to know the
yeah, I've
active.
had some early success with it. I've got some Airbnbs and some long-term rentals, but then like Travis was saying, I started working for more active, got a CRM set up and did everything. But this stupid sales gig keeps pulling me, and I know I'll look up in 5 years and be like, I'm still here. So I put a cap on it. I'm trying to work my way out. Any advice or
I
yeah,
do. I made good money. And looking back, I could have made way better money if I had just focused on selling freight. But I made good money. I set myself up. I had a good year, so I knew I could write out that W-2 in tax return. But I set myself up with two flips. I knew I would make at least 100 grand. Like I was going to make 100 grand just on the two flips I had locked up. So just time it with what deals you have coming up that you know you're going to be able to turn and sell to make sure that you have some safety net. I don't know what your nut is that you have to cover. You're fortunate that you have a producing spouse, right? Not
yeah.
everyone has that.
It's not much, but I have two kids and a wife. Like it
I know
is
how expensive
something.
that is.
Yeah. I acquired about 3/4 of an acre on a major freeway just south of Dallas. I was going to hold it for a long term and lease the land, but now I'm starting to reevaluate if I want to sell it, which kind of falls right into what you're saying right now. I owe 350. I should be able to sell it for 550, 600, and maybe even wrap it for somebody owner financed.
Zero
Like that
percent
would set me
interest.
up
I'm just
to
putting that out there. He's got it for 0% interest. I'm just
yeah.
saying.
Oh,
Zero down, 0% interest at
wrap that, dude.
350. It's worth
Wrap
550.
that.
You
Yeah.
leave out all the details. Like
Wrap that. Do not sell that for cash, man.
That's I threw the finance deal out there. And if I got 10, 20% down, that would give me what I need to just run with it.
Yeah, I'd keep that long term. Wrap the shit out of it.
Dan's the one that like I was at a event and he was talking about 0% interest. I was like, what the hell is 0% interest? And then I was like, I'm gonna go try this. And like the next week I found a deal and then I started going on a spree. And that's how mad I was like, buy it 0% interest. But you had opened my eyes to that. I was like, damn, you could do that.
Well,
Yeah.
the
You
twist
know?
on this one is we agreed to 350 at 0% interest. Their CPA and lawyer got involved and was like, no, you have to charge interest. So we dropped the price down to 290 and it's 60 months of $1,000 of interest only to
Okay.
get me through
Okay. I
it.
didn't
So
know
it's
that.
still no interest, but I can take the interest payments as a deduction.
Yeah. My advice is to, I don't know if you do flips or whatever, wholetails, just make sure you line yourself up while you have income with deals that are going to close. And that'll at least give you some runway to give yourself some breathing room. I've seen people just literally quit
Yeah.
with no deals.
If I was 25 again, maybe.
And they're putting out 5 to 15,000 a month. I'm like, dude, that's risky to me. So Be very, and Travis, you used to spend, you might still spend a ton of money, but I know you scaled back. You got a lot more efficient.
Oh my God, I got in a bind. You know what I
A
mean?
lot of the gurus will have you out here spending
Yeah,
15 to 50 grand a month. And dude, that is heavy, bro. There's some cold months out there.
yeah. I was spending a lot of. I'm not exaggerating. I probably I probably spent like $400,000 the last few years.
Ooh. What do you
Like
spend now?
now, right now, nothing.
That's ins-
Last month was about 10 grand, and then now I'm like, "Oh, I'm not. I'm just done. I don't
that's
even.
crazy.
I feel good, but really, proximity was so important to me, and I'm glad I did it. But I met you. I met Brand. I met all these people. Now I have these. I can just any like it doesn't matter. Dan, I'm doing a $5.5 million deal that Evan brought me. I don't have any money into it. I sent it to Brandon, and he's like, "Oh my God, this is crazy." Yes, and I own 50%, no money. You know what I mean? But like, I
Yep.
wouldn't have. So I don't feel like I need to spend that anymore. But I feel like it was. I heard Alex Hermosi made a post about it. He said there was this dude that lived in his building. And he didn't have any money. He wanted proximity. He's like, that is the most risky thing you could ever do. But if you can do it, it'll pay off. I don't know.
Yeah, we've all done that. The proximity does matter, but you can't,
Yeah.
you got to gamble a little bit. But the marketing, man, is tough because you can throw all that money up and not get any deals.
Oh
That's
yeah. We were spending. Oh, you asked what I was spending. I thought you just meant in like just networks and stuff.
no, I meant, yeah.
Marketing probably like 10 grand a month right now. But I was spending, I don't even know, dude. I was spending a crazy amount of money on marketing.
Bronson's spending some good money too. I'm like, man, you,
Yeah.
because he is the busiest dude I know. If you're with him, he's on his phone all day long.
Yeah.
Now he's got someone manning the phones and all that stuff, but that's a lot of money. And especially whenever you're trying to get your bearings
Yeah.
and really figure out how to close deals.
Yep.
So be careful. Anyway, my advice is set yourself up. When you cut the cord, you have some for sure income coming in with some deals. And don't count on like passive income as what's going to sustain you. You need active income.
Awesome. Thanks.
Evan, the Amarillo King. What's up, man?
What up, brother? What's up, Dan?
What you got?
Hey, Evan.
Yes. Okay, I had a question. So I'm mainly in single family. I've got about 50 doors roughly. So I've got good knowledge of single family. But as far as shifting to maybe going into multifamily, bigger family deals, like when I'm buying properties, I'm buying them I got a $500,000 credit line, buy them, term them out, got good relationships with the banks. So how I'm able to buy these properties without leaving any money into them typically. When you're buying multifamily and you said you scaled from 30 doors to 600 in a few years, were you dumping a lot of your own cash into those, or how were you able to scale so quickly?
By doing syndications, it's a little more complex. We raised money. I did put into that first deal like 350 grand of my own, and my partner, who I made part of the general partnership, he put in shit like 700 or 800,000. So we put in 1 million out of the 5 million that we raised out of that we had to bring to the table. So we brought 20%. So yeah, we did have to put some money in, but we raised the rest. You don't, that was a 305 unit deal. You don't have to go from single families to that. That was a little crazy in retrospect. So yeah, man, just using a partnership is what I would say. I don't know if we lost him.
I think yeah, he's driving. I think we did. He's actually coming to the event tonight.
Oh, sweet, sweet.
Yeah, in
But yeah,
Dallas.
guys, like it just you got to think through what will entice, and sometimes you don't know until you start asking people, but you have to put an offer together for people that makes sense for them to put their money and trust in you as an operator.
Real quick, Dan, because I was on a different page with you earlier. I thought we were talking about like circles and stuff. But as far as the marketing, I wish I would have known something. But we always do, right? So maybe I should
Oh
have
yeah.
that. My biggest revenue source is referrals. It's number one. It trumps everything on
Me too. And social media is such a big part of that.
yes. You know what you said earlier, Facebook. I keep telling everybody make posts, but until we're ready, but they don't
You
like it's
guys, none of us like posting. Do you like posting, Travis?
No.
No one does. I post a lot only because I know what it does for me. But I was guilted into doing it. That was the biggest thing I learned at Apex
Yeah.
was posting every day. And literally the people that wanted to give me 200,000 today that sought me out. They used to work for a company that's bigger than me. You guys, you know who they are, but they're like, I love how you're a family man and all. We've only talked at parties, right? Like they only see it from Facebook. So you don't have to make it all business. You see my posts, they're not all business related. I try to tie it in, but sometimes I don't want to post about business. I'll just post about my daughter's graduation from 8th grade. You know what I mean? But you'll find your circle when you put out there what you really are. It's got to be authentic for sure, and try to give value. And just sometimes that value is just putting out there what you've learned. You're not maybe the expert, but people appreciate that authenticity and those experiences because guess what? They might not have done it yet. Todd, I've never done that deal. I love that sexy deal, man. I wish I would have done that deal. I put out what I know to sometimes help people. And honestly, when you really, if you're a visionary and you plan the future, like you have to project what you want to surround yourself with, right? So sometimes that's people in your inner circle, but also that can be employees, right? Like it's really helped me in the recruiting because people don't know what my company is. We're too small. We're just under $10 million. That's a small company that when we're competing for talent. But now, if they go to my LinkedIn, I have stuff on there that I post every day. The CEO of whatever bigger companies out there, they don't know shit about them. So not just deals that you're looking for, not just money that you're looking for. The only way to scale and grow is to by hiring people that are better than you in certain aspects of the business. And why will they want to come work for you if they don't know you? Because they've never heard of you before. So by posting, you talk about proximity. It's not I would say even if you're not ready, start posting.
Yeah.
Period. That's a non-negotiable for me because I know how much value it can have for each and every one of you.
I say it every day, and everybody's probably getting tired of hearing it, but I see it happening more and more. I'm like Facebook groups and posting. That's it. Huge. Randy, what you
100%.
got?
Hey, sorry about that. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I'm out in the van right now. Can you hear me or did I
Oh,
freeze?
got you.
We're good.
Okay, cool. No, just wanted to thank you for jumping on. That is interesting because I know like in Pennsylvania, is that your primary market?
Yes.
Yeah. I know like a wholesaling standpoint, I think they outlawed it much, right? Double close.
Yeah.
Okay.
The assignment. You're correct. You can do
Okay.
I think you can, it's going the way that,
You on that, right? If we have something in that area,
yes.
come to you and if it
Just, it's really fun to be with the people that go from W-2 to doing this full time. Travis, it's tough to leave the job. It's that security, like you make a good living. So to be a part of that is pretty special, to be honest. There's not too many people that do it. I'm sure that Travis now, and you're the
Yeah,
people that in your group. So
it's tough.
that's the fun stuff. You never forget that. And that's really a special thing to be a part of. So, yeah,
has Travis done your macro?
Mike, what you
course.
got, man? Mike just had a $60,000 assignment.
Hell yeah.
You're on mute, Mike, if you're there. Steven's new license. You there? Yeah. But about to be kicking some ass.
Yeah, I'm just new to the whole investment thing, just really diving deep into the investment side. It's been mostly retail in the years past. So now I'm just going all in on the investment, just really soaking up the information, just knowing what I can provide to, sellers as a kind of a resource. And yeah, it gets a little downsome at times because it's not going the way that I would like for it to go. But being around this group and people like yourself, it really helps to keep motivated and to keep going moving forward.
The big thing I can tell you, Steven, is well, let me ask you this. How many offers a day are you making?
I did like about 3.
Like I went gutted, needs reframe, needs steel beams and everything, but he does that. He said, what's the lowest you can take? And she said, this and that. Yeah. 300 grand. Remember, she will give me some. She's like, if you can give me 10 grand, I can get it for a better price. Said, what's the lowest you'll take? She's like, can you do 200? Dude, this house The basement is literally 20 feet tall. There's massive steel beams. I wish I could get a better picture. It's super dark down there, but like 20-foot ceilings in this house. And it's going to, like, he's going to make over 200, 300,000 on it for sure. But he didn't even, like Brandon's is, what's your immediate cash need? Don't come for your advantage. Got to get that uncomfortable part.
Again, right now.
But I will make offers that basically you're legally stealing it. Don't make offers to win you the, because say yes, want that. You will do. You just gotta make an offer. Your plea and give you, because that's the only way you get it. And if just that, you'll be 90% of that. Computer has like notifications and I get distracted. There's no distractions. And I literally just say, all right, what am I doing next? Because once I complete a task, I forgot about the next 5 things I have to do. Make offers on your to-do list for every day.
For
No.
sure, for sure.
Dan,
So-
thank you so much, man. It's awesome to see you like normal. And I'll give them the link to your lending page too if they have a deal
Yeah.
they want to submit.
Please.
And
Awesome.
follow Dan on social and all that good stuff.
Hey guys, thank you. Appreciate the questions. Appreciate you listening to me yap. Hopefully I added some value.
And
Thanks
if
for
y'all
your
want to
time.
stay after, I'll stay with y'all and answer any other questions.
All right.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Dan.
guys.
Thanks, Dan.
All right. What'd y'all think?
Got the money,
Dan-
huh?
Dan's awesome, right?
Yeah.
It's legit.
Yeah.
You got to get proximity to those types of people because it gets your juices flowing. It gets you thinking there's more. There's more out there. Because without that, you stay in this rut. Whatever level you're at, you stay in this rut. Now, like your mind's open. So I like to bring those kind of people to you because you'll run across something that opens another door because you might have a thought that you wouldn't have had before. JP, you had a question for me. You had texted me earlier. I didn't get to.
Yeah, no, you're good. I was just gonna tell you, you ever heard of, so I was at this real estate meetup last night, and this group's doing a bunch of them. I'm gonna get more clarification on it next week when I meet up with this guy who's doing them. But he's almost wholesaling lease options. So they're doing a lot of land acquisitions and they're doing a lot of, they actually just got linked up with, I'm not sure which, like PPL lender, but for all their land leads, they won the bid on that. If they're 300 in a day, something like that. But they've been doing a lot of houses that are retail value. People won't come down, FISBOs that have been there for a little while, etc. And they're structuring a deal where they basically do a lease option for a year with somebody, find somebody to do a lease option for 1 year and basically walk away with a fee up front on it. And then they pay the full value at the end of that 1 year. They have a crazy vetting process on the back end for those buyers, but I've never heard of anything like that.
How are they giving good deals to buyers at retail, even if they're
So
leasing it out
it's
for you?
somebody who's looking to live in the area, rent to own, that kind of stuff. So a way to vet a lot of that. So they're basically saying, hey, if you guys want to keep it listed, go for it. We're going to find you somebody. And they've done quite a few deals on it. Why it was interesting is because there's some specific areas. I'm trying to get back into Florida a little bit. And there's some specific areas where a lot of stuff is, hey, maybe 2019 built, they're building 2025 houses all for the same price so people can't get the money out that they just had. So there's not a huge spread on anything, something we would normally pass on. Like I said, I'm getting more understanding of it, but I don't know if you ever heard anything like that because I usually pass on those retail deals that are like you can't really do anything with.
I've done a lot of lease. I say a lot. I've done a handful of lease options for commercial stuff, but only because the deal was really good or I wasn't sure if it was really good and I wanted to find out. The only way I could see that, which kind of got me thinking a little bit, and I could be wrong. I don't know. It's the only way that could see that maybe working. Pace Morby's doing it with sub two, going out and find the retail buyer and putting them two together is if it cash flows. But it's hard for me to believe.
It's not towards an investor, it's towards an end buyer, right? So it's,
No,
it's
I get
somebody
it.
looking to live in the property. It's like I think Mr. Hustle does a lot of those deals where he buys them and then takes 20 grand down and rents them out. But it's the flip side of that coin because they almost hope that, hey, they keep getting their 20 grand year over year. This is a 1 year lease option. That person puts 20 grand in, that
Like a
homeowner.
rent to own. They're doing like a rent to own.
Yeah, exactly. But the homeowner gets 12 grand up front. This guy's walking with 10 grand, let's say 22 grand buy-in for the assignment fee. And then you got a 1 year lease option and they take it down after a year. He said he's done it probably 50 times and 2 haven't worked out so far. Where they
Yeah,
haven't bought, the buyer hasn't bought after a year. So I was like, it was just an interesting, like I said, I'm meeting with him next week just to hear a little bit more about it and run through some of the deals he's done. But it's just interesting on a retail option that we pass on probably 95% of the time.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's so many more sellers than buyers right now, statistically. So that's interesting to me. I'm always open to hearing. I'd love to see it.
So if you, I'll set up a meeting next week. I'll let you know the times and stuff because like my brain, your brain works a little quicker than mine because a little bit more than I do about the whole thing. If you have time to hop on and run through some of those deals, maybe you can figure out how it works. I was paying, we were talking for about 20 minutes after the meeting last night, trying to figure, I was like, hey, I'm like 60% of the way there. I'm like, I was like, what am I missing here? Because it seems
yeah,
too,
we'll hop on it. I'd be interested. I'm always interested in learning something.
yeah, something new. I didn't know if you ever heard of it or anything like that, or I was like, it was something different.
It sounds like a blue document.
Do people put down decent amounts for like lease option? Everything I see is always like, 5, maybe 10 grand most.
I only
They're
see
doing
like 5 grand.
Yeah,
They're getting like
doesn't seem like
20. So I know, like, for example, like Mr. Also, he's buying those. Obviously, his is different. It's got a cash flow on the back end, what have you, but he's taking 20 grand down, 20, 30 grand. But those are on 5 year type lease options or what have you.
Okay.
He's getting deals.
Yeah.
From what I've seen.
Yeah.
In Texas, you're not supposed to do over 180-day lease option, I think.
I don't know what the rule is, but they do have a rule. They have a few rules.
Just got to be careful with them. But
Yeah, I don't know. I've bought some parks that way.